Hello. So I am going to talk today about relaxing into discomfort. And a lot of people might see the word discomfort and then immediately run the other way and not want to watch a video or listen to a recording about discomfort. But the reason that it came up for me is because I work with a lot of clients who suffer burnout. And what happens when we suffer burnout, two things. There are levels of reasons for burnout, but one of the big drivers of burnout, this idea of overworking, there are two main things. One is that we produce, we show up in a certain way because we want to feel valued. We feel like our value comes from the amount of things that we do. And we probably do it in our personal life. If it's showing up as burnout in our work life, we're probably overdoing. Maybe you have a hard time just relaxing or sitting down, not doing something, not being productive. Some people use meditation even as a way to prove to themselves that they're being productive. So it's something to be aware of. It's not something to judge or beat yourself up about, but be aware of this idea that are you tying your value, your worth to overdoing, overproducing? The other thing about overworking is that something that we do, and I am completely guilty of it, is that we work to escape discomfort. And it's like, what? When you're burned out, you're like, that's not true because work is hard and I'm tired and I'm overtired and I'm overworked. But what we do is we create the situation. So we always have a choice. And I know that's really hard to believe when you're under client deadlines or you have supervisors who are putting a lot of expectations on you. You always have a choice. You always have a choice to do what's best for you and your higher self and yeah, what feels right. You always have a choice. And so what we do is we overwork and we show up in that space constantly because we're trying to escape other things, because there's discomfort when we slow down. When we sit down and we stop doing, we have to be with ourselves. We have to be in a certain space to be reflective and to look around us and to see what's happening in our environment and to be aware of it rather than burying our head in the sand and just working and monofocusing on work. So we need to learn how to accept that discomfort. So how do you do that? It's actually easier than it sounds. You just need to allow it. And what happens when we allow any emotion is that it actually doesn't take that long to basically cycle through our body. But we spend so much time avoiding feelings that we don't want to feel that we create this sort of compounded outcome. So when there's something you think that you're running away from, if you're overworking to escape something, just sit quietly, take this moment to just sit quietly and note what comes up first. So for me, sometimes I do it to avoid family conflict. You know, I'm a parent, I've got two young kids. Sometimes it's hard to go into the space where I have to juggle or have a certain kind of mindset to be in parenting mode. And sometimes I just don't have the energy, or I don't feel like it, or I feel discomfort, or I don't know what I'm doing over on this side. So I go to a place that's really comfortable. I know how to work. I know that realm. I've spent a lot of time there. It's very comfortable for me. So when I don't know what I'm doing over here, I escape it by working. Oh, I have a meeting. Oh, I got to finish something. I have a deliverable. Now, those things are all true, but I could make more space. I could open up an appointment in my calendar to be available over here more often. I have the choice. I always have the choice. Even if my brain tells me that I don't have a choice, that it's just fooling me, because I always have a choice. I always have a choice. I can quit. I can ask for more time. I can set expectations. I can set boundaries. I always have a choice. Nobody's holding me at gunpoint telling me that I have to meet this deadline. There's always an option. And so just sit in a moment of discomfort, allow what comes up, be curious about it. Don't try to solve or change it or fix it, but allow it to cycle through. Why do I feel uncomfortable? What am I trying to escape? Why am I buffering with work? What is it that's coming up for me? And just allow it. Don't escape it. Don't run away from it. Don't try to write it down or meditate or do something to escape it. Just sit in it. Keep asking yourself the question, why am I trying to get away from this discomfort? And then you can really just sit with where it is in your body. Where does it show up? For some people, it shows up as kind of an anxious heart palpitation. So for some people, it shows up as a stomach ache, a headache. Where does all this discomfort show up in your body? And then just focus on that spot in your body. Just breathe into it. Just let yourself feel it. Let yourself feel the heart palpitations. Let yourself feel the stomach ache without trying to change it or judge it or push it away or get away from it or take something or drink something or all these things. Just allow it. Just be with it. Relax into it. Because the more comfortable you get with discomfort, the more comfortable you get with feelings that are uncomfortable, the easier it is to go into situations that are uncomfortable, to face change, to ask for things that you need, to show up in the way that you want to show up. It's all about just getting comfortable with discomfort. The reason why we're overworked is because we haven't asked for what we needed. We haven't asked for extended timelines or spaciousness or the things that we needed. Why didn't we ask for that? Because it makes us uncomfortable. Why does it make us uncomfortable? Only you know the answer to that question. So just sit with that discomfort, relax into it, realize that there's nothing wrong with it. There's a place in our brain that tells us to be scared in order to protect us so that we can survive. It's a survival instinct. We need to retrain our brains that we're not in survival mode. We need to realize that discomfort is natural and that we need to know how to feel it. So next time you're feeling burned out and overworked, just sit with that feeling of, what am I trying to escape by going deeper into work? What am I not looking at in my life? And what I think you'll realize is that you probably haven't spent enough time in a slow pace, realizing that you don't have to do to prove your worth to yourself or to the world or to the people around you. It's okay to be still. So I hope that's helpful, and more soon.